Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here. Welcome to another FIFA 18 World Cup mode video. As of course, I'm sure you've gathered from the title, I'm going to be doing another World Cup simulation video, but this time with the worst possible team from each and every nation. Now, when I first thought of this video, it was a while ago, and I didn't actually act upon it for a few days because I kind of thought maybe it was a little bit gimmicky. But then I did a little bit of thinking. There's actually something pretty interesting that we could learn from this video. It's more to do about a nation's depth. There's a couple of top footballing nations that can put out a brilliant starting 11, but if they needed to, how deep into their pool of players could they go to still field a decent 11? So that's what we're doing today. Each and every single country, I am putting the worst players on their roster in the team lineup and getting them to play through the entire World Cup. So to start this video off, I'm going to go through maybe not necessarily every single country at the World Cup, but I'm going to show you what the worst World Cup lineup would look like for most of the nations competing. And today's video, ladies and gentlemen, is presented to you and sponsored by the Panini FIFA Trader app. I feel like every single football fan on the planet at some point has owned a pair or at least a couple of Panini World Cup cards, and maybe even an entire book. Maybe you go mad with it. And for the first time ever, Panini are giving you a brand new way to collect your World Cup stickers online and digitally. This is the Panini FIFA World Cup Trader app, where you can buy packs and do so much more, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of it later in the video. Thank you once again to Panini for sponsoring and supporting this video. So let's go through and take a look at maybe not all the teams, but definitely some of the more higher noteworthy nations that we'll take a look at their lineups and see, of course, the big changes. We've got Russia, the host nation. We'll take a look and start off with them. You can see that this is their formation, this very interesting 3-5-1-1 formation. I'm not sure how many other countries you'll see rocking that, but you see some of their bigger names getting started in there, of course. But now, taking a look at their second squad, their worst starting 11, the lowest rated starting 11 that they could put out there, and you will see that it does go down quite a fair bit. You would expect quite a fair few. There were definitely a fair few low 80 rated players and a couple of high 70 rated players, but now I don't think there is not a single player in that starting 11 above 75, for example. So that's how low they've gone down by. It's definitely not all too good on their part, but still, looking at Portugal now, they're, of course, a team with some fantastic star players, like, of course, the big standout being Cristiano Ronaldo with 95. He is going to end up going as well. Some other huge names like Andre Silva, Matinho, Bernardo Silva, João Matinho, that midfield, and Pepe, of course, 88 rated. That's really going to go down as we look at their worst 11 as well. You've got Eder, who, to be fair, is probably just going to do right. He's going to do fine. I mean, he obviously thrives in the big moments for Portugal when it comes to the world stage and all that, or at least the European stage, shall we say. Nelson Oliveira, their striker. You've got Gonçalo Guedes, Rafa, Renato Sanchez gets a run back. That's almost the only time he can get a game anymore now. But of course, they're back. Their defense is completely gone. Their 76 rated Varela, goalkeeper, I mean, really taking a big hit there as well. France, this is the one I'm most looking forward to seeing, because even though they've got a great starting 11 with names like Griezmann, Pogba, Umtiti, you've got Lloris in there as well, Mbappe, Conte, some just fantastic, brilliant names. We have been going on forever about how brilliant and how incredible and ridiculous, really, the depth of the French national team is, and some of the players that didn't even get a call up to the World Cup, and how good their players that weren't going to the World Cup were. But now we get to see what their worst starting 11 looks like, and it's honestly better than some other nations' best starting 11. Seriously, there are so many players in there that could walk into other nations' sides. You've got, let's see, for example, the worst player in there would be, Jordan Amavi, 77 rated. There are some nations that their worst players couldn't even dream of getting up toward the high 70s. It's incredible. Their lowest rated goalkeeper, 80, and Coastal, like, unbelievable. Gignac and Gamero is their strike force, or at least up front. You've still got Coman, you've got Kondogbia, Sissoko, Zuma, Laporte. It's just unbelievable stuff. Like, France surely have got to be the favourites under these circumstances in order to get it done, I swear. We've got Argentina, of course, another team that maybe will struggle. They've got a massive standout player in Lionel Messi, 94 rated, who won't be able to play. Of course, if it's the worst starting 11, there's no way he's getting near it. Higuain, I may as well just keep him in if we're putting the worst starting 11 in there, but still, we won't do it for the memes. We'll actually put the lowest rated player. Di Maria is going to go missing. You've got, of course, Otamendi. You've got so many other great players as well that will no longer be in that starting 11. This is their worst starting 11. Bennett just names it, some that I recognise and some that, I'm just not quite sure of. Not a single player in there above the rating of 80, and that's Lamela, Gaetan, Pizarro, Cranvetter as well, Funes Mori as well. Like, there are some names in there, some notable players, but compared to the just insane ratings of other players, like, of course, Dybala, Aguero, Messi, Higuain, Di Maria, the ones that we just went through, Otamendi, it's a real fall. It's a real fall, of course. It's not like, for example, with what we just saw with France, for example, where they had a great starting 11, but even their worst players could still field a majority 80 or so rated. We'll move on now to England again. Again, maybe the second to last. We'll do one more after this, but England, I had to throw them in there, of course. They're going with that 5 at the back formation, which, to be fair, they've got a couple of decently rated defenders, and I think they should be able to make up for the majority of these players. I mean, because they're all low 80s or high 70s, aren't they? I mean, you've got some players that are pretty decently rated, like Walker and Ali, 83. Harry Kane, the highest rated at 87. I feel like they should be able to back up quite a fair few of these players, and we're taking a look at their rotation team, and you can see that it's barely a drop-off at all. They're certainly missing Harry Kane, 87 rated, their star man, and Dele Alli's gone as well, Kyle Walker. I mean, they're definitely being missed. But for the majority of the other players that they've got in there, it's really not too bad of a drop-off. You've still got Antonio and Defoe, and yeah, sure, obviously neither of them are close to 87, but I mean, still pretty consistently up around the 80 mark for a lot of their players. Their midfield's a bit wank with Andros Townsend at centre attack and mid, Winks and Livermore. That's probably not too good to see. You've got Gibbs, Maguire, Keane, Jagielka and Klein. Again, looking at their ratings compared to the last blokes that we had in there, nothing different at all. And I'll be honest, Joe Hart, 79 rated, was in their strongest starting 11 anyway. I've just kept him in their weakest for the shits and giggles, and because he's actually their lowest rated goalkeeper. And just because they were the last big nation that we haven't actually noted or talked about yet, Spain, we'll get them out of the way. They'll be the final one, and then we'll get into simulating the World Cup. Spain, with their 4-3-3 formation, Isco, Costa, and Silva up forward, looking good. Their midfield, obviously, is class. Thiago, Iniesta, and Busquets. That's the position I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle replacing. De Gea, 91 rated. Their back four is terrific with Alba, Piqué, Ramos, and Carvajal. It's always funny seeing Piqué and Ramos alongside each other, but I guess they are the best centre-back Spain have got. Now taking a look at their worst starting 11, Herrera, Martinez, and Illarramendi. It's better than most, like it's better than the English midfield, for example, way better, but still. Pedro, Alcacer, and Vitolo, their front three, not maybe all too great. And their back four, Bartra, Monreal, Martinez, and Odriozola. I think I got somewhat close to that, whatever. And their goalkeeper, Sergio Rico, again, 82 rated compared to David Hayes, 91. I don't know. They've done about as well as they could. I mean, there's only one player or two players in that starting 11, their worst starting 11, that are below 80 rated. So I guess you could say Spain have done pretty well as well. But I reckon we've gone through quite a fair few teams. There are definitely others that we haven't gone through, but if we did, it would take us way too long. Let's get into the World Cup. So now that we've gone through pretty much all the lineups, I am going to simulate the group stages, and we'll see who's missed out and who's going to make it through. So taking a look at all the groups so far, Saudi Arabia and Russia make it out of Group A. Uruguay and Egypt get left behind. Spain and Portugal, we all expect them to get out of that group, and even when they're playing their worst players, they do, with Morocco and Iran finishing in third and fourth. Really, that group ended up just the way we thought it would in real life. France and Denmark, even some would say this group ending up the way that they would expect. Australia in third, Peru in fourth. So France and Denmark make it out there. Argentina topping Group D. Nigeria making it out. Again, they're sort of a shot of getting out as well, but playing their worst group. Croatia couldn't handle it. Nigeria could. Moving on to Group E, Switzerland topped the group and not Brazil. That's definitely quite interesting. Serbia and Costa Rica missing out. I think Switzerland have really benefited from this way more than I probably would have expected them to. Group F, Mexico make it on top. Germany do get through, and it was, again, pretty comfortable. Sweden were able to pick up a win. Korea couldn't do anything. England finish on top, winning all of their games. So, despite not having the, the greatest of depths or anything like that, they still were able to put together a relatively decent, consistent team. So, there you go. Tunisia made it all the way to second, and Belgium get dumped out. That's incredible. Senegal finished top of Colombia and Japan and Poland, of all people. Poland not picking up a single point. So then, with exceptions to some groups, really, the majority of the teams that we would expect to go through, if they were playing their best 11, still made it through. Definitely a couple of nations that didn't make the cut and couldn't get out of the group stage. Some big ones like Uruguay and Belgium, for example. That was definitely quite surprising, not seeing Belgium get out. But then again, I feel like they are one of those countries that they've got a really good starting 11, but maybe not an overall core group of players, where if they had to reach in and play some of their reserves, maybe they're not going to be as well backed up as, say, a Brazil or a France or someone like that. But okay then, we have gone through the group stages now. We're out to the round of 16. Let's see who's making it through and if there will be any big upsets. But here come the round of 16 games with France versus Nigeria, and of course France will get it done. This team has surely got to have the best depth at the World Cup. We've got Saudi Arabia versus Portugal, and Saudi Arabia knocked Portugal out of the competition. Incredible. Ronaldo's not there to save Portugal, and he couldn't do it, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't cop Saudi Arabia. A 2-1 win for Spain, so they make it through. Now moving on to Argentina versus Denmark. Argentina do or are able to get it done, as we can clearly see with the 2-0 victory, so they'll be moving ahead. Switzerland versus Germany. Switzerland topped their group. Germany only finished second, and Germany get dumped out of the round of 16. Another country I thought for sure would have been able to, and we saw can field a very good team, gone. Switzerland keep this unbelievable run going. England get through after drawing 1-1 but winning 5-4 on penalties. And how about this? A 119th minute goal for the Brazilians sees them go through. Senegal, they beat Tunisia 2-1, and what an interesting round of 16 game that is. But of course, recapping all the results, we've got Saudi Arabia, France versus each other, Switzerland versus England, Spain versus Argentina, that's exciting as well. And finally, Brazil will end up facing Senegal. So definitely some pretty big surprises in there. Senegal, Switzerland, and Saudi Arabia going away, way further than we expect them to, all the way to the quarterfinals. Some huge outs as well. Portugal gone. That is incredible stuff. Probably even more incredible than that, Germany getting knocked out by Switzerland. That is, again, extraordinary, because Germany, once more, one of the nations we thought they'd be able to field a decent second or third starting 11 anyway. I mean, just take a look at the Confederations Cup. If you watch that competition, the team they put out there that was considered to be full of youngsters and reserve players was still phenomenal, but they couldn't get past the round of 16. Yeah, definitely quite shocking. And now I've got my eyes on Switzerland, Senegal, and Saudi Arabia. How far do they go, or does their run end at the quarterfinals? So, quarterfinal action then, Saudi Arabia versus France. What a run by Saudi Arabia, but it does come to an end with France again picking up another convincing 2-0 win. Very good stuff for them. Switzerland versus England. Switzerland's runs are going to continue. They win the game 2-1. England go out in the quarterfinals, unbelievably. Brazil versus Senegal, another 2-1 victory, this time for Brazil. Still waiting for an African team to make it to the semi-finals. Spain versus Argentina, that's not a bad one, and it's a good one indeed for Spain, who end up winning it 3-0 with a brace from Pedro and a goal from Alcacer. That means France will versus Switzerland in the semi-finals, and then Spain versus Brazil. Bring that one on. So France, Brazil, and Spain, all countries that if they made the semi-finals of this year's World Cup, no one would blink an eye. It would just be perfectly fine. They're perfectly good and fantastic footballing nations. We would expect them to make some sort of a deep run in the competition. But Switzerland just keep on going. It's unbelievable, this run that they're on, knocking out England. Are they going to make the final? They genuinely could. They've at least got the third place playoff game to get to now that they've made it this far. But can they get rid of France and make it to the final? Be extraordinary scenes, but let's find out. Who is making the final of this worst player World Cup tournament? It's France again, winning 3-0. The regulars of Gignac and Gamiero as well. Coman's been on the score sheet tons too. And Spain ends up downing Brazil. 2-0 win for them. That means it will be a France versus Spain final. Not too unrealistic if it were to happen in real life. Switzerland and Brazil will play off for the third place. So according to this simulation, if every single nation played the worst players they had in their World Cup squad, it would be a France versus Spain final, with Brazil again falling agonisingly close of another final, and they would have to eventually play Switzerland. Switzerland in the third place playoff game. We'll take a look now really quickly at who is going to win that third place playoff game, and then we'll come right back here. Who is taking home that bronze medal? It's not the Olympics, but who is finishing in third? It's a 2-2 draw. Switzerland, I can't believe it. They nearly got third place at the World Cup. Just for the fact that they got fourth is impressive enough, but Brazil do beat them to third. So Brazil will get it done, only on penalties too. A 2-2 draw there, but it is time for the big one. It is time for the World Cup final with the worst starting 11 for each nation. Will it be France? Will it be Spain? Here we go then, France versus Spain, two countries we are not surprised to see make it this far. We're underway. Gamero scores in the 6th minute to put France ahead. Marc Bartra picked up an injury, but he's still playing on. No substitutions as of yet, and Pedro ties up the game in the 30th minute. It is now 1-1. Is this thing going to maybe go to extra time. They have 30 minutes either side. We see the substitutions beginning to be made. And again, time running out, 15 minutes left, 10 minutes left. Is it going to happen? Are we going to extra time? We surely are, and indeed we are. Still waiting. 105 minutes into the final half of extra time. Will this thing go to penalties? I think it might do, you know. What's the result? A 5-4 win for France on penalties. That is it. France will win the World Cup. We've been saying forever, everyone knows of the incredible depth of French players that they have to pick from. And of course, that would mean they would end up winning the World Cup under these circumstances. They have surely the best depth out of any other nation at the World Cup, and they've shown it here, winning the World Cup final. But it is, of course, only on penalties. Spain came close. Some big surprises like Germany getting dumped out and Portugal getting dumped out so early. But it will be France to win the World Cup. I predicted them to win the World Cup in real life outright. Maybe this is another good indication. They've got the depth. They've got the players if anything were to go astray. But I'll tell you what, France, they've earned it.
So I've got about 200,000 coins, which is not bad, trust me. I'm going to spend about 100,000 of them right now on packs. And then when we've got some decent players, I'm going to go and do some pack battles. I'm going to buy the most expensive pack that you can get, which is the Diamond Pack. 2,500 coins. I'm going to get as many as I can afford with 100,000. Let's buy the first lot of 20 for 50,000 coins. See who the best player I get is. I'm hoping I get maybe a Messi, Ronaldo. I've got to get one of the top dogs. Neymar, I'll take him. This is the first pack I'm opening up right now. We start off with Ziyech. Yes, all right, let's just keep going. Kichi, I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar. Jackson Irvine, we've got our first Australian, not bad. Sergio Aguero, except he's like a level 1, so he's not really that impressive, but still, he's probably the best player I've got so far. Dani Alves, not actually going to the World Cup, but still. I'm just going to show you all the diamond cards that I get. If the best, we've got Andre Gomez, okay. What's his power rating looking like? 4,929, okay, not bad. How about in this one? What do we got? It's Ziyech again, except this time we do get him as a diamond card. Oh, Timmy Cahill, okay, level 2 Timmy Cahill, another Aussie bloke, but man, we're getting like card ratings that are in close to 5,000s and he's just 304. It's cool to, I'll take as many Aussies as possible, but if we get a diamond Australian, I don't know if there is one, but let's take it. Oh, instead we get a level 10 diamond Fellaini. Oh my goodness. And again, I'm starting to think the diamonds can't get over 5,000 because I'm waiting all this time. It's always 4,900. If you want to give me a diamond. Oh, a diamond Massimo Luongo. Okay, anyone else from any other country gets that and they go, whatever. I get that and go, hell yeah, come on, an Aussie diamond card, we got one. Basically what pack battles are, guys, is you have to pick 5 players from your inventory, and then basically it's a turn-based system where you have to pick the 2 highest rated or just whatever attributes you want, and it's a battle of who has the higher attribute. I'm gonna go big for this one too. I'm gonna do a diamond battle pack. Let's go big. Obviously strength and speed, they're the highest. Let's just get it out there, come on. I really can't take another, oh my God. Oh, he just threw his diamond card straight out there. Okay, I don't mind that, you know, that's cool. I now know that he doesn't have another diamond card, or at least I hope he doesn't. Jonas Hector, defense and speed. Oh, surely Kyle Walker's gotta have him beat. It would be a joke if he doesn't. That's what, wow, it was close. He's got speed, not bad, and strength. Okay, not a, maybe quietly rate my chances, I don't know. 11,062, that's not bad. This to take the lead. What have you got? What have you got? We've got it! 2-1, come on. We can end this right now with my diamond card, hopefully, depending on what the attributes he picks are. It's fine. I'm just gonna put I'm gonna put this bloke in, and I don't think I've got him beat with it, but still. I have 2! Yes, come on, boys! And I didn't even use my diamond card. To add insult to injury, I'm gonna pick defense. Fuck, I've already won it. Let's go. Come on, there's no way he can beat that with whoever he's got. Come on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, it's a 4-1 win. I'd love to have gotten the whitewash, but we'll take it. But that is the FIFA Trader Panini app, guys. If you're a big fan of the Panini cards and the stickers and you're a collector yourselves, and you will love this app. I love opening up the packs. Obviously, everyone enjoys that. The pack battles are good fun. Be sure to check it out. The link is in the description down below. Thank you once again to Panini for sponsoring and supporting this video.
Well, there we go, everyone. France gets it done only on penalties again. And there haven't been too many. There weren't a lot of draws in the knockouts as well. So for it to only get decided on penalties right toward the end, when was the last World Cup final that got done on penalties? I swear, it probably would have been 06, Italy maybe? It's been a long time. But I cannot imagine a more tense spectacle in world sport. Penalties at the World Cup final. That apparently is how it's going down, and France do get it done. A couple of big upsets and some shocks, of course, along the way in this World Cup simulation, but no surprises about the winner. France get it done. That'll do it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And until the next video, my name is the MasterBucks. Have a good one.